I believe the first aspect that needs to be addressed in prioritizing in terms of climate change issue is really increasing awareness, making useful of the scientific evidence, and bridging the gaps towards the politician and also the governments in context of Asian region. Because at the end of the day, they will be the one that decide what will be the future of this region to be in the changing of climate. And of course, after that, bringing the other non-state actors to get involved and also to accelerate the process of climate change adaptation and mitigation in this region. And another one that I do believe is important is promoting more and more demonstration activities. So you can provide good solutions on the ground, saying that, of course, there's a challenge of climate change, but you can tackle it together. I do believe we, as Asian countries, we can play a very good role in, let's say, a changing climate game in the context of multilateral UNFCCC. Especially, we are located, well, let's say, between big countries like developed countries and also big developing countries like India and China. So Southeast Asia countries in particular could provide a kind of role to bridge the gap between these two big giants or giants elephants, for instance, using already existing institutions and regimes, but also creating new innovative institutions that can address adaptation in Asia in the context of climate change. For instance, the institution related to Greater Mekong sub-region could be very useful to be developed further, taking into account the challenges and opportunities in addressing adaptation. The Heart of Borneo, for instance, between Malaysia and Indonesia, and also Brunei, and the Coral Triangle that really covers 6 countries in Asia and the Pacific when addressing climate change in the ocean. So we got already the substance and existing institution. What we need now is really put a certain goal that we want to get it in the context of climate change adaptation. One of the things that I have in mind at this point of time is really making the already existing institution as inclusive as possible. Although, of course, the first leader could be coming from the government, but the setting up of the institution needs to cover the private sector, NGO, civil society, and other actors. Seemingly, if this is not the case, the attention or the intention of the institution set up only can reach a certain kind of goal, but not necessarily implementation on the ground. We have read and also we have seen the process and also listened to the presentation within this 1.5 day. So more and more having a structure of institution covering those actors could really lead to more and wider discussions and transparency among these actors to work together and also to share differences, but also to share commonalities in addressing the difficult issue which relate to climate change. Of course, it couldn't be done overnight, but I do believe some existing framework, like, for instance, Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil, whereby Malaysia and Indonesia are quite active, fisheries regime issues, whereby Indonesia, Philippines, and Thailand are also quite active, could be useful because it's not only the government, but also private sector and civil society have similar stakes for this. I got 3 words. Interconnecting action research. It's probably the jargon. I do believe there have been some action research being developed, also being achieved by different institutions across the region. But I do believe again that RSIS has this role to interconnect and make the usefulness and lesson learned from this action research. So this action research could be useful for the politician to decide and also to take on. And I think in the future, for instance, RSIS can also extract some lesson learned from other non-state actors, utilizing whatever things happening on the ground at this point of time that link to human security and transboundary issues, because this is something that is not yet being developed as such compared to research and assessment at the state actors level. More discussion, more negotiation, more dialogues among scientists, amongst academia, amongst different actors within ASEAN regions could be useful, because we do want to see actions on the ground rather than only political debate and jargonistic debate, for instance.